Ahoy hoy fellow Springfieldians, and welcome back to the Simpsons Theory. There are many words that can be used to describe Bart Simpson. Rebel, slacker, and sometimes even kind and sweet. But what about telepath? Yes, I put forward that Bart Simpson has the unnatural ability to not only read people's minds, but to implant his own thoughts too.
I know you can read my thoughts, boy.
I'm Lydia from the Simpsons Theory, explaining why Bart Simpson is a telepath. If you are new to the channel and would like to keep up to date with all things Simpsons, then hit that subscribe button and give this video a huge thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And I'd like to say a huge thank you to Who Else But Zane. Check out his YouTube channel in the description below. Thanks again, Zane, you're awesome. Now, from the offset, you may think that the idea of Bart being a telepath is too ridiculous to be true. But when you really think about it, it's not outside the realm of possibility. Even if you exclude the wackiness from the Treehouse of Horror episode, there are still many strange and mystical elements that exist in the world of The Simpsons. Aliens are plentiful, Count Dracula is part of the Springfield Republican Party, and Burns even captures the Loch Ness Monster. So, is it really all that strange that Bart could have some telepathic powers? Now, what evidence do I have? Well, if you stop asking me questions, I'll get to it. The first time we see Bart using his powers is in the season 4 episode, Brother from the Same Planet. While waiting for Homer to pick him up from his football game, Bart uses his telepathy to communicate with Homer.
Pick up Bart!
Bart's power is not quite strong enough, so instead the message ends up being delivered to Milhouse. He may have even used Santa's little helper as a conduit in order to get through to his dad.
Bart! Bart, 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 Bart!
And some people seem to be aware of Bart's abilities. In the season 5 episode, The Boy Who Knew Too Much, Bart decides to ditch school and is hunted by Seymour Skinner. In order to evade his principal, Bart sneaks into Freddie Quimby's party. It's here that he sees an incident involving a clumsy waiter. Whilst attending court, Seymour turns to the boy and talks to him through his mind.
I know you can read my thoughts, Bart.
Homer then also sends Bart a message through thought.
Yum 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 yum.
Does this tell us that it's a pretty well-known fact that Bart is telepathic? Well, maybe. Because in the season 20 episode, Bart is even able to watch in other people's dreams. Homer has a dream of Oscar Wilde visiting him, and Bart knows it. At the end of the episode, whilst giving a speech to a crowd of parents, Bart quotes Oscar Wilde before turning to Homer and saying,
I saw him too, Dad.
This strongly implies that Bart is able to hack into people's minds, even within the subconscious. Watch out, Domcob. Bart's telepathic skills come up again in season 29, when Lisa is fantasizing about marrying a prince. Bart injects himself into her thoughts to take out an assassin whilst dressed as a ninja. Lisa angrily turns towards her brother and says, Bart, get out of my fantasy. And Bart replies,
Oh, jeez, I saved your life. How about you're welcome?
The way Lisa talks implies that Bart reading her thoughts is a common occurrence, which must get pretty annoying, even if his intentions are good. Bart even passes his mind powers to his children. In the season 23 episode, Holidays of Future Past, we're transported 30 years into the future, and we see what life is like for the older Simpsons family. Bart now has 2 sons who he has a strange relationship with. When forced to stay with their father, Bart assures them that they will have the best Christmas ever. But in his head, he's secretly planning to dump them off to his mum's. But the boys say,
You know, we can hear thoughts now. Damn it.
So, did they inherit their father's supernatural powers? If that doesn't convince you, then there's more. Bart's mind abilities are referenced a number of times in the Treehouse of Horror specials. The first was in the Treehouse of Horror 2, The Bart Zone, a parody of the Twilight Zone episode It's a Good Life. Bart has the ability to bend reality with his mind, causing everyone to live in fear of him.
Because this particular monster can read minds.
While listening in on Homer's murderous thoughts about killing him, Bart quickly turns him into a jack-in-a-box. This power was touched upon again in Season 6's Treehouse of Horror segment The Shinning, a parody of, well, The Shining. The Simpsons family are employed as caretakers at Mr. Burns' lodge. Groundskeeper Willie discovers that Bart can read his mind and tells him that he has the Shinning.
You mean shining.
Shh! You wanna get sued?
Yes, I know, the Treehouse of Horror episodes aren't considered canon, but the creators have alluded to Bart's powers a few times now. And this could be a fun nod to it and dive into his telepathy further in a knowing way. So, what are your thoughts? Do you think that Bart has mental powers? And what other characters do you think has superpowers? Let me know in your comments below. I would like to say a big thank you to my Flying Hellfish Patreons, James Whitehead, Jesse Porter, Timothy Belton, and who else but Zane. If you'd like to support the show and receive special awards, then check out my link in the description below.